What's up guys, it's Meg giving you yet another deck for Link Evolution. Today guys, we're doing a Utopia deck. Decided to make this deck because on stream I asked people what deck would like to make and everyone was like, Utopia, give Utopia a go. So we decided to do it nevertheless. So this deck is all about obviously like what you rank it up our monsters to go into very powerful XC. So as we are using the Dodos, Go-Go-Go's, all of them, Gagagas, Zababa, all the weird names, and they kind of work together, and we have got a little bit of spice in here, mainly with Kali Yuga, and it's actually a very nice OTK with this with deck very easily. If you're struggling to make this deck guys, or any deck I've ever shown, check out the card hub. Let me tell cards in this game out, tell you where to find it. So any of the card packs, any of the challenge mode jewels, any of the campaign jewels. And with that, let's get into the video. Guys, is 2 copies of Ash Blossom Joy Springs Fantastic hand trap, because if your opponent does anything like add a card from the deck to the hand, special one from the deck, or send a card from the deck to the grave, Ash Blossom just shuts them down really great. Now we're on to the weird names guys. We've got 3 copies of Dodo Dwarf Go-Go-Go Glove. So this card counts as a Dodo and a Go-Go-Go, so it really comes in handy, and it has an effect where you can special summon a Zubaba or Gagaga monster from your hand. We'll get into that in a little bit. And if you control a Go-Go-Go or a Dodo monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. So that's really great because you can just keep recurring it. A lot of our cards do share that effect, so you can bring them back. And also it's really easy to go special summon another special summon a Zubaba and a Gagaga monster from our hand. Speaking of which, we've got 2 copies of Gagaga Kid. You can special summon this bad boy from your hand if you control a Gagaga monster, and then you get to target a Gagaga monster, and this card's level becomes the same as it. So we can basically add this card to make it a level 4 monster, really great. However, it does have an effect where you cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate its ability. So please bear in mind, if you use the child, you're not going to be attacking, but it's great if you're going to go into it turn 1, because obviously turn 1 you can't attack anyway. And then we've got 2 copies of Gagaga Clerk. So again, you can special summon it if you control a Gagaga monster. With a magic card called Onomata Pickup, you can change this card's level to level 4. So that's never a problem. And if you don't have Onomata Pickup, you can just discard it, because a few of our cards like Onomatopoeia, you have to discard a card. So you can just discard it off that. And then we've got the 2 copies of the OG Gagaga monster, being Gagaga Magician. Again, because it's a Gagaga monster, you can special summon Clerk and Child with this card, and again if you use the Child you can resurrect you can make it level 4 as well and go to an XC play. And again, because it is a Gagaga monster, you can special summon it from your hand because of Dodo Glove. And then we're running 2 copies of Go-Go-Go Giant. Again, because it is a Go-Go monster, you can if it's on the field, you can special summon Glove from your graveyard. And again, if it is normal summoned, you can target a Go-Go monster in your grave and resummon it. Dodo Glove, Dodo Warrior, Dodo Dwarf, Go-Go-Go Glove is also a Go-Go monster, so you can resurrect that and again go into a free rank 4. Now we've got 3 copies of Utopic Onomatopoeia. Now this card is treated as a Zubaba, a Gagaga, a Go-Go, and a Dodo card, so it counts as the lot. So you will always be able to resolve its effects and that of your other monsters. Its effect is you can special summon 1 each of a Zubaba, a Gagaga, a Go-Go-Go, and a Dodo monster from your hand. However, it does lock you into Xyz monsters, but you can quite easily go into a lot of Xyz plays with this, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And because it's got Onomatopoeia in its name, you can search it off Onomata Pickup. And then we're running 3 copies of Zubaba Ancho Gagaga Coat. So again, because it's a Gagaga monster, you can special summon the Child off it and make it a level 4. And because it's a Zubaba monster, you can special summon it off of Go-Go-Go Glove. And its effect is like the opposite of Glove. So Glove is you normal summon Glove to special summon a monster from your hand. This is the opposite. So if you have a Zubaba or a Gagaga monster, while this card is in your hand, you can special summon it. So again, if you've got the Gagaga, say you got Gagaga Magician, special summon out this bad boy, and its effect is you can special summon a Go-Go-Go monster or a Dodo monster that's in your graveyard and resummon it. So again, it's like a monster born for a card. So it's an alright So it's all around a nice card. On some magic cards, guys, we are running that one copy of Double or Nothing. It is a Garnet because we are running Utopic Double, so that's the reason you run it. You basically play it with either Utopic Double, to search it out, then you get your monster to go to 10,000 attack points. If you hard draw it, you can just still play it and still make your Utopia gets to 5,000 attack points. We are using that lone copy of Gagaga Bolt because if you control a Gagaga monster, which is what most 9 times out of 10 you're going to be, you can destroy one card on the field, which is a very nice effect. And then Gagaga Revenge, you can target a Gagaga monster in your grave and resummon it. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, so if you exceed some with the monster you resurrected, all monsters you control will gain 300 attack points. We've got that lone copy of Monster Reborn because Monster Reborn, you obviously just combo extender, bring back a monster, continue on your plays. Now we've got 3 copies of Onomatopoeia. So Onomatopoeia, guys, you get to send one card in your hand to the graveyard, sets up your graveyard, and also, especially if you've got like a dead card in there, and then you get to add a Zubaba, a Gagaga, a Go-Go-Go, and a Dododo monster. You get to add one of each, or 2 monsters out of those 4. You can't choose the same one, so for instance you can't choose 2 Go-Go-Go monsters or 2 Gagagas. You have to choose like one of each. So you can easily just choose the Dwarf and the Ancho, and then you can literally combo extend from there. We've got 3 copies of Onomata Pickup because this bad boy you can add one Onomat monster card from your deck to your hand. So you can add the Peria, or you can add the Utopic Onomatopoeia, or just the Onomatopoeia, and just extend from there. And also you can target one monster you control on the field, and all monsters you control gain that current level. So this is where you can change Gagaga Child and Gagaga Clerk to make them level 4 monsters. We are using 2 copies of Pile Desires because again, draw power. A lot of our cards, apart from like the rank corps we're running, is pretty much running 2 or 3s of, so you're always going to be seeing cards you need. I'm using 2 copies of Numeron Force because it's a rank cup. The rank cups serve 2 purposes, either going into our chaos numbers or they help us go into Utopic Zexal. So that's why we're using Numeron Force. Now Numeron Force, upon being activated, it does negate every monster or every card on the field every card on the field's effect. So that does mean if you do have other monsters or other cards on your side of the field, you're going to negate them if you play Numeron Force, but you can still negate all your opponent's cards at the same time, and it's absolutely fantastic. And as for Quick Chaos, because as Quick in its name, it is a quick play spell. So that means you can target one of your numbers, attack with it, like since we can attack with Utopia, play Quick Chaos, go into Utopia Ray V or Utopia Ray Victory, and attack again. Makes it you get more damage out, and also because it's quick play, use it in your opponent's turn. So if your opponent does attack your Utopia or does anything like destroy Utopia, you can just chain it with Quick Chaos, get Utopia off the field, and go into a more stronger monster. Now we are using 1 copy of Reinforcement of the Army because it does search Utopic Onomatopoeia, and it does also search out that Zubaba Ancho. So that's why we're running that. Now we're running 1 copy of the Phantom Knights Rank Up Magic Launch. Now this is a little bit of spice in the deck, we'll get to in a little bit, but you're mainly going to use this to summon Kali Yuga during your opponent's turn, which kind of locks them out of doing anything. Now we're using 2 copies of Xyz's Change Tactics because we are running a lot of Utopia monsters. So when you summon a Utopia monster, you can draw a card by paying 500 life points, and that effect is not once per turn. So the more Utopia monsters you summon, the more cards you're going to draw. And then we're running 2 copies of Imperm because it is the ultimate hand trap in a way, because it's Effect Veiler on steroids, because Effect Veiler can be called by the grave, Infinite Permanence can't because it's not a monster. If you control no cards, you can play Imperm from your hand, which is very nice. And also, if you do decide to set it and you can target one face monster field, negate its effect. And then any spell or trap that activates in the same column, you can negate that effect. So it's all around just a better version of Effect Veiler. Now going on to the extra deck, guys. Now we're running 1 copy of Kali Yuga. So the reason why I'm running Kali Yuga is because of the rank up magic Phantom Knights, the Phantom Knights. So with that magic card, we're going to be targeting our Big Eye, and we're going to rank Big Eye up into Kali Yuga during our opponent's plays, which I'll get to in a minute off another monster. Now the reason why we're going to do this is because it's really easy to go into, and also you are going to, and also Kali Yuga's ability is after this card is summoned, all other card and effects your opponent activates are negated, or all other card and effects on the field are negated. So that means no matter what, your opponent cannot activate any more monster effects or any more card effects. And that just goes for you too, but because it's during your opponent's turn, you're going to be fine. And Kali Yuga does have an ability as well, where you can attach one Exceeds material and destroy all spell and traps on the opponent's field. And that is during once per turn, and that's during either player's turn as well. So Kali Yuga is just great to lock down your opponent for a turn. So you're running this and Zexal to lock down your opponents. Big Eye, like I say, we're going to use it to go into Kali Yuga, and we'll get into it why. Now we're using 3 copies of Utopia because obviously we're running Utopia because it's a Utopia deck. And we're going to reuse this. You can either go into Utopia Ray, you can go to Utopia Ray Victory, V, or you can go into Zexal with this, or Utopia the Lightning, or based off Utopia. It does have its own effect where you can detach 1 Exceeds material in order for you to negate 1 attack. You use this with Double or Nothing because you negate the attack with Utopia, you play Double or Nothing, it doubles Utopia's attack points to 5,000, then you get to attack again. Just like the anime, so you can relive your anime moments. Now we're all running 1 copy of Utopia Double, so when this card is on the field, its quick effect is you can attach 1 Exceeds material and add Double or Nothing from your deck to your hand, which is all around good. And then you get to special summon a Utopia Exceeds monster straight out of the field, and when you do, that monster attack is doubled. So that means you can bring out Utopia after Utopia Double, its attack becomes 5,000. If you then use Utopia's effect, Double or Nothing will increase it to 10,000, makes it really easy to OTK your opponent. Now we are running 1 copy of Babushka because say your hand isn't that great and you can only summon out two level 4 monsters. Babushka just fulfills the purpose of being able to store your opponent with the Babushka lock. So if Babushka is in attack mode, it can't be targeted by card effects, which is really great. But also, if Babushka is in defense mode, all monsters are switched into defense mode and they can't activate their special abilities. Yes, Babushka doesn't work on Link monsters, but it can still shut your opponent down nevertheless. Now I'm running 1 copy of number 60, Duelist the Timeless. So we're running this because it has a couple of abilities that's really great. So you can either skip your next draw phase to draw 2 cards, and those 2 cards could be key. You can either skip your next main phase 1 to special summon a monster from the grave if you want to keep combo extending to summon more monsters. Or you can skip your next battle phase in order to double the attack points of 1 monster you control. So again, you can make your Utopia even more stronger. Now you're already 1 copy of Utopia of number 93, Utopia Kaiser. This is how we're going to bring out Kali Yuga. So you bring out this using a number monster with 3,000 less attack points. So you can go into Utopia, or you can go into Utopia Double, and you can go into Utopia Kaiser. And what you do is you use 1 Exceeds material, and you get some 2 number monsters with different ranks from your extra deck. Their effects are negated. The effects are negated, but they've served their purpose because you're going to use Utopia Kaiser to special summon either Utopia and then Big Eye, or any other monster and Big Eye. Because then, when you have that Phantom Knights launch rank up magic, you can then go into use Big Eye during your opponent's turn to play Kali Yuga and just shut your opponent down. And it all stems from going into Utopia Kaiser. Now you're using that lone copy of Utopia Ray because it's a Utopia monster. If you have got change tactics on the field, you can go into Utopia, draw a card. Go into Utopia Ray, draw an extra card because it is a Utopia monster. And if you are going to go into Zexal as well, you can go into Utopia Ray into Zexal because then it gives Zexal an extra overlay unit. We are using that lone copy of Utopia Ray V because we are running some rank up magics to go into this. This is like the ultimate burn card, guys. So you can use 1 Exceeds material and destroy 1 monster on the field and deal damage to your opponent equal to its attack points, which is really great. However, if that monster is set, it won't deal damage, so please bear that in mind, but it will still destroy the monster. And also, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. So it's all around just great at dealing effect damage. And then we're running Utopia Ray Victory because Victory, again, you use it via a rank up magic. If it attacks opponent's monster, your opponent can't activate, or if it attacks in general, your opponent can't activate any spell or traps, which is really nice. But if you attack into a monster, Utopia AV can attach one exceeding material and gain that monster's attack points, so it will always deal 2,800 attack points to your opponent and gets over any monster. And then we're running Utopic Zexal. So Zexal, guys, you can use any Utopia monster and just discard a rank up magic. Doing this, you get to go into Zexal, and Zexal gain 1,000 attack points for each overlay unit it has. So if you just go into Utopia, then go into Zexal, it'll have 3,000 attack. But if you go into that Ray V, then go into Zexal, it'll have 4,000. And its effect is you can use one overlay unit, your opponent cannot activate any card or effects for the remainder of the turn. And this is a quick effect, so you just do this during your opponent's draw phase. So between Zexal and Kali Yuga, we have 2 ways to lock down our opponent. And pretty much Zexal just stops your opponent from playing the game, and that's why people in the TCG is asking for Zexal to be banned. And then finally we're running Utopia the Lightning. We can use this by going into any of by using our Utopia monsters. It's got to be a rank 4 Utopia monster, then you get to go into this. And again, if this card attacks, your opponent can't activate any spell or trap, so that's really great. But also, if this card attacks into a monster, you can use 2 overlay units, and then its attack points become 5,000, which is really nice because it can get over a lot of monsters. And then finally, we're running that lone copy of Infinitrack, Fortress, and Megaclops. Now, please bear in mind, if you do use cards such as Animariperia or other cards that lock you into only Xyz monsters, then you can't go into Megaclops for that turn. However, Megaclops, you need 3 Xyz materials to go in, 3 Xyz monsters go into it, and that's very easy. And also, Megaclops is unaffected by monster effects except for those of Xyz monsters. So if your opponent ain't running Xyz monsters, no monster they have is going to get over Megaclops, which is really great. And then Megaclops can target one card your opponent has on the field. In field, you attach it to an overlay unit to an Xyz monster that's in your graveyard. So you get to special summon your Xyz monster back and get rid of opponent's card on their field. Really great, and that's why we're running Megaclops. And that's it for the deck, guys. It's a really fun deck to play. It makes you like as if you are playing Yuma, and it's just an all-around fun deck. So if you enjoy this deck or any deck I've ever shown, hit that thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing, because either one does help out the channel. I am starting to live stream a lot more on YouTube, guys. I sort of moved from Twitch to YouTube, so I do hope you guys enjoyed them. So wherever you are, guys, in the world, have a great day or night. Take care and goodbye.